Good afternoon, Mr. Dunn, and good afternoon, class. Today I would like to present about the Vajont Landslide. So firstly, we'll have the background information about the landslide. After that is the details of the landslide, and then lessons that we learned from the landslide. Firstly, about the information, the landslide occurred in the Vajont Dam, which is nowadays is an disused dam in the valley of Vajont River under modern talk in the municipality of Ertocaso, 100 kilometers north of Venice, Italy. And at the time it was constructed, is considered the highest dam in the world. And the Vajont landslide occurred at 10 p.m. on October 9th, 1963. So the mass of the landslide that has displaced Vajont Reservoir, causing the wind and water to travel in all directions. And these wind, water, and rocks and air climbed the canyon walls to 850 feet above the reservoir. The wave of water reached even greater than 330 feet above the dam crest. Around 20,000 acre feet of water went over the dam, create a flood at the mouth of Vajont River, about 230 feet deep, 1 mile downstream. The landslide has crashed over the dam and into the Piave River below. So it stormed down the river and destroyed the town of Logaron. So as you can see in the two pictures showed here, the upper one is the town before the landslide, and the lower one is the town after the landslide. So from what I researched, there used to be 370 buildings before the landslide, and after that only 20 remained. And within minutes, the town had virtually vanished and nearly 2,000 people were killed. All the workers at the dams died immediately, and the tsunami-like wave then rushed down to San Martino, where it killed hundreds more. The flooding in the Piave Valley from the wave destroyed the near villages, turning them into a flat plain of mud with an impact crater 60 meters deep, 18 meters wide. The dam was slashed, but the Vajont Dam was largely undamaged. The top 1 meter of Mansouri was washed away, but the basic structure remained and exists till today. And as I said before, the dam nowadays is no longer in use, and just is only used for sightseeing or for research for the past cases. So I would like to have a deeper analysis of this landslide. So the Vajont landslide is a translational rock slide, and in the figure here you can see on the right is the sliding surface, and it slide onto this final deposit, and the water from Vajont Lake run over this place and pour down the Vajont Dam. So this slide occurred because of the combined effects of a rising reservoir and heavy rainfall reduced shear strength and reactivate the failure surface. The slide mass slipped as a block on saturated clay layers over large areas, and these clay layers is the main factor that affected this slide mass, because they reduced friction of the failure plane and held back the water. We also call this as lubricant and membrane. And also, the stability analysis were not conducted during dam construction or first filling, even after appearance of the large slope instability in November 1960s. So the Vajont landslide has highlighted the need for thorough geotechnical investigations during dam designs, specifically reservoir slope stability analysis for dams in mountainous area. So the cause of a landslide due to the structure of the dam here is firstly a creation of the lake basin as well as the variations in the level of reservoir, the clay seam along the failure surface, the ancient landslide, the geological structure, the seismic action, and the confined aquifer behind and below the failure surface. And although as this place occurred a historic landslide, but so the risk is foretold, but the local government believed that it was only fabricated news, and instead of facing the potential danger, they decided to cover it up and continue constructing the Vajont Dam. In February 1960, the dam began to hold water, and by March, the reservoir's water level reached 130 meters above river level. After that, small landslides occurred consecutively, but the engineers at that time believes that only by calculations or like computer simulations, all these risks can be avoided. But in 1963, heavy rains made the lake level rise to 30 meters higher than the recommended depth, and only 15 meters of concrete of the dam remains to prevent water from overflowing. The displacement of the side ridge was up to 2.5 centimeters per day. And by the end of December, the rate of the displacement of the slope continued to increase unsettlingly, and as a result, the landslide occurred. So from this landslide, we have learned that no risk and danger should be neglected. As we can see that this landslide can be foreseen, but they did not care about it, and they neglected all the risks. The second part is that dams that locate in seismic areas should be evaluated for liquefaction, cracking, potential fault offsets, deformations, and settlement due to seismic loading. The last lesson that we learned is that modeling should go hand in hand with the understanding of geological and geomechanical conditions, physical investigations in the laboratory or in the field, as well as observations and investigative landslide monitoring. So here are the references that I have used in my presentations, and that is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening.